Hello and welcome to Beyond. This week we'll be going through our indicators as usual and see what's going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So before I begin, I'm just going to read through a brief disclaimer. Please feel free to read along as well. Beyond Trader LLC is strictly a research publishing firm. The information we publish is based on our opinions, plus our quantitative models, statistical and financial data, and independent research. This service is not registered with any financial regulatory agency, such as the SEC or any other organization or governmental body. By using our platform or our services, you acknowledge that we do not provide personalized recommendation or advice. Alternative asset classes are volatile investments and carry significant risk. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions. Okay, so let's get straight to it. As you know, my name's Nathan Batchelor, and I'm going to be your host for today. So let's go with our platform, and let's get straight to it with Beyond Atlas. So if you're familiar with Beyond Atlas, it's an inverse indicator, and we're going to be starting with Bitcoin. And we can see that it's been gradually moving down almost perfectly in terms of forming an inverse relationship with Bitcoin. But where it comes into its own is where it moves into the green zone or the red zone. So if it moves into the red zone, it offers a stronger sell signal. And if it moves into the buy zone, it offers a stronger buy signal. And once it crosses underneath 100, it has a bullish bias, and when it crosses above 100, it has a bearish bias. So as you know, if you've been following me over the last couple of weeks, the cross underneath 100 was very bullish, but this week and over the last couple of days, we've actually moved into the green zone. So this is fantastic news for Bitcoin, and we're now sitting around 98.86. In case you're wondering, you have to cross underneath 99 in order for a green buy signal to happen. And let's check out what happened the last time that Bitcoin moved underneath the 99 area. This was, if we can get a date of when it happened, it basically happened around about October 19th to 20th. So let's see on that date what happened to Bitcoin. And if we just get that up in terms of dates, so around October 19th to 20th, it was just about the time before the election, the breakout above 66,000, and from there we went all the way up to around about 106,000. So you can see why it's such a significant point. When we get into the green zone, it normally means that we're at the strongest part of the buy zone. So next week, what we'd like to see is a nice gentle descent into the green zone. We don't want to see a big drop off, i.e. Losing maybe 50 or 100 points in a day, dropping down. We don't want to see the steepness to go too much. What we've been seeing recently is this indicator has been moving down maybe 3, maybe 10 points each day, and that's a nice gentle descent, and that fits the price action, i.e. we don't want a great big topping movement, because when we see collapses into the green zone, typically they've marked meaningful price tops in the market. Not always, but mostly they have, and there can be some quite significant pullbacks in the market. So at the moment, things look very good for Bitcoin, even though we did have a little bit of a correction. I think it's a good time to have a look at Ethereum, because we're nearly at the same stage as Bitcoin, but not there. So over the last couple of weeks, Ethereum for Beyond Atlas has been dropping, but we're not in the actual green zone yet. We're about 3 points away, which means that we're just a little bit less bullish than Bitcoin. So again, we want to see Ethereum next week drop into that zone. And you'll note in terms of the points drop today, we've had 0 points drop, which kind of means that Ethereum is waiting to decide, and we don't want to see too much consolidation or a move higher, because that way we'll lose bullish momentum. So ideally next week, a nice gentle drop again in Ethereum, and we'll get a strong buy signal. And we can see when we've had these strong buy signals before, Ethereum has moved up really, really significantly, and that's happened perfectly on those last kind of 3 occasions actually here in the months before 2024. And I think before the turning point as well, around about February, and again after the election. So yeah, excited to see what happens next week for Ethereum and Vanguard now. Let's take a look at that in regard to Bitcoin and see where that's trading. So This week, we had another green buy signal for Vanguard. If we have a look at what Bitcoin's done on a weekly basis, obviously it's moved up very much higher compared to the opening price. So on Sunday, I guess we'd like to see this closing above 106, 300, hopefully as high as 108, and then we'll get another green candle. By the way, if we start to flip to blue, it means we should prepare to buy, and there might be a bit of a dip, but generally we want to see these strong green candles all the way. And like I say, we've had 3 green candles now in a row, and Bitcoin has moved from around 95,000 all the way up to 112 after Vanguard's turned green. So it's a really significant signal. Plus, we're getting Atlas as well moving into the green zone. So we've got a strong buy conviction for Bitcoin. And while we're here, I think why don't we take a look at Ethereum and see how that's trading in regard to Vanguard. It's not as bullish as Bitcoin. We've got 3-day and weekly saying prepared to buy, be prepared to buy on dips, which is a good sign. But the lower time frames are flagging that there's still a correction risk. We really want to see the strong weekly buy signal return, and we want to see an up week next week for this indicator. I think it's a good idea to have a look at the long-short ratio and see how we're getting on now for Bitcoin. I think something I do want to note is that we've been entrenched in this global short bias, and that's exactly what we want to see if we want Bitcoin to go higher, because we want to see the contrarian trade, retail trying to short the move all the way, and you can see what happens when it does. So we want to see a bias under 1, i.e., a negative ratio, so retail traders are shorting. If we have any sharp recovery in this indicator, it could, I guess, usher in a correction down to about 104 and possibly even lower than that. So hopefully this will remain in place. Something that I do want to note is that we've this week launched an indicator called Challenger. And Challenger, if you want the basic concepts of how it works, we're looking for discretionary reversal risk. This is a Fibonacci-based system. So what we're looking for, if you see a green number and you see a number as high as 100, it means that we've got a perfected buy signal. If we see a red and we're as high as 100, then we see that there's a perfected sell signal in the market. And you can see that there's 6 different time frames: the 4-hour, the 6-hour, the 8-hour, the 12-hour, the 1 day, and the weekly. So why don't we have a quick look at Bitcoin and do some analysis against that? So we can see that on the 4-hour, it's saying that there's a nice bullish bias coming up, hopefully for that, and hopefully in the next couple of days, or maybe as soon as tomorrow, the 4-hour and the 8-hour are signaling that there's going to be an upside recovery risk. And also on the weekly time frame, we're about halfway done in terms of maybe we're 4 weeks away from a sell side risk, but the daily time frame looks good in terms of upside, and all the time that's blue, it's setting itself up for more upside. So when we get numbers on the larger scale of 100, either on the green or red side, it is when we want to watch out for counter trend. So at the moment, after the big sell-off in Bitcoin on Friday, hopefully these lower time frames and even something as high as the 12-hour is signaling that there's a recovery chance on the table, and the fact that we're 4 weeks or 5 weeks away from a potential sell signal on the weekly bodes very well. And in case you're wondering, if we get 100 score and nothing happens, then it will then the color turns to gray, and that means that the sell side risk has been negated. It's just if we move towards the 100 number on either scale, that means that there's according to Fibonacci analysis, there's a heightened chance of a sell-off or a buy or a buy signal coming. So that's why this indicator is useful, and it's a welcome addition to our platform. Okay, so hope you enjoyed it for this week. As I say, we've got some strong buy signals in place for Atlas and Vanguard, and there's also a short-term upside recovery chance, according to Challenger. So things don't look too bad moving into next week. Thank you very much, and I will see you again next Sunday.